Hello, hello, beautiful people. Happy anniversary. It is so good to be here with you on this anniversary Sunday as we gather together to celebrate the magnificence and significance of the presence and power of God operating in, through, and as us. We are going to begin, as we always do, with the powerful words of prayer. And I want to ground us in a reading and a prayer, something that's very familiar, something that I love to bring the focus of our attention back to. This is the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. The mind of God guides us. The life of God flows through us. The laws of God direct us. The peace of God abides within us. The joy of God uplifts us. The strength of God renews us. The beauty of God inspires us. Wherever we are, God is. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And so from this place of awareness, I invite you to get still and close your eyes. And together we will take an intentional breath in and an intentional breath out, allowing ourselves to relax in the mind of God. We breathe in and we breathe out. Sinking deeper into the presence, we breathe in and out. There is only one mind, only one power, only one presence that is working in all, through all, and as all. There is one life. That life is Mother, Father, God. That life is perfect, whole, and complete. That life is my life now. That life is your life now. That life is all life now. That is the life of every plant, every tree, every animal, every insect, every galaxy, every planet, every sun, every moon, every star. It is the life of all, and it is now. For what I know to be true is that God can only be here and can only be now. God neither comes nor goes, but is omnipresent everywhere at all times and constantly encountered. That means that where you are, no matter where you are physically, mentally, or emotionally, the divine is present with you, in you, and as you. That means that no matter where I may be at any point in time, mentally, emotionally, or physically, God is right where I am, within me and all around me. There's no spot where God is not. And so as we recognize the power and the presence of the divine, as we recognize that it is, and it is here now, as we recognize that we can never be separate from it, we recognize our oneness with God. For we are one with God and one of God. We are individualized, particularized, undivided expressions of the all in all. And so because of this, we have great power. Because of this, we have great possibility. Because of this, we are divine. Because of this, we are holy. Because of this, we are beautiful and brilliant. Because of this, we are worthy of all of life's riches. And so it is out of this deep awareness of the presence and power of God. It is out of this deep reflection of knowing who and what God is and who and whose we are that I speak this word with faith, with absolute knowing and expectancy. I am so grateful and thankful for this Sunday. I am so grateful and thankful for this anniversary Sunday. I am so grateful and thankful for the 12 years that have made up the life and expression of Celebration Spiritual Center. I am so grateful and thankful for this lighthouse, for this healing station that is Celebration Spiritual Center. I am so grateful for all of the lives that have been transformed. I am so grateful for all of the minds that have been set free. I am so grateful for the powerful, worthy beings that walk this planet knowing whose and who they are. I am so grateful and thankful for the mission and vision of Celebration Spiritual Center. I am so grateful for the awakening, for the celebration, for the equipping to live our greatest lives, for the embodying of unconditional love, the serving all creation. I am so grateful. I am so thankful that Celebration Spiritual Center exists and continues to be a light in this world. Yeah. And so as we gather together for the weekend service, we are confident that we will leave here better and better and better. As we gather together for the weekend service, we are confident that we will expand our knowingness of who and whose we are, our understanding of ourselves, and our understanding of how to apply these principles to live successfully in life and in the world. And so it is from this place of awareness that I now release this prayer. I release it with confidence because I am confident in the law. I release it with confidence because I recognize that the law always responds to us without fail, without judgment, without hesitation. So I release this prayer knowing that it is met, received, and we shall receive the fruit and the benefits and the manifestations of it. Together we lift up our voices and we say, Amen.
Amen.
Ashe.
Ashe.
And so it is.
And so it is.
And so it is. And so it must be. Well, hello and happy Sunday, beautiful people. I'm Pastor Greg.
I'm Pastor Yolanda.
It is wonderful to be here on our anniversary Sunday. It's wonderful
yes.
to be here on another Sunday as we continue to do what we do here as a community here at Celebration Spiritual Center, and continue to learn and grow and expand and thrive in so many powerful ways. If you are a first-time guest and you are joining us for the very first time, hello, welcome. It is so good to have you here. As you can see, we've been doing this for quite a while and been around for a while. And so you're in very good hands, right? And you're tapped into some deep roots, deep well of knowledge and wonderful things. So this is just the beginning. Like you hear on YouTube, you'll start to see on YouTube, there are so many different sermon series and classes and workshops and opportunities that are free and available to you right here in this space. So again, we're happy that you're here. And we're confident that something will be said, something will be done that will support you in thriving in your life and living your absolute best life. The first time you come to CSC, you're a guest, but the next time you come back, you're family. So we welcome you to the CSC family. Now, the information here on your screen is how you access your digital connection card. This is your way to stay in touch with us and our way to stay in touch with you. All you have to do is text the keyword welcome to the phone number 347-472-1078. Again, the keyword welcome, just the word, to 347-472-1078. After you text that keyword to the phone number, you'll receive a response with a link. Click that link. That'll take you to the digital connection card. Enter your information. We just need your name and your email address. Submit that. You'll receive a follow-up text that says you're all set. And indeed, at that point, you're all set. You'll be on our mailing list. You'll receive our weekly email that goes out on Friday and any other emails or correspondence that are necessary. Of course, this is also your way to stay in touch with us. You can respond to those emails if you need to reach out to CSC or either of us for some reason. Also, if for some reason you are outside of the country, because we know that we have folks connecting from all over, you may want to look in the post here on YouTube or on Facebook. In the post, the link to the connection card is there, so you can just go directly there, follow the same instructions, enter your information, and then you're all set. You'll be on our mailing list. So welcome. And again, thank you for being here. So this is a wonderful moment for us to tap into our news and updates so that we can move forward with the meditation, the music, and the message. As I've shared, it is Anniversary Sunday. It is our birthday weekend.
Yes.
Tomorrow is the official anniversary. 3/31 is the day that we open the doors of Celebration Spiritual Center. We are so excited to continue to do what we do and to be here as long as we have been here. Over a decade now, which is powerful. We're going to talk a little bit more, as I said last week. We're going to share a couple of things. But again, it's a wonderful time. We have so many reasons to celebrate. Every Wednesday morning, we gather together for the Momentum Prayer Call at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I encourage you to join us for this prayer call because it is powerful, it is impactful, and it is short and impactful, and it is short and sweet. All you have to do is call in and wait. We share a reading, we pray, we move on with our day. It is a wonderful way to continue the momentum that we create here on Sundays, and it's also a wonderful way to start the momentum of your day, Wednesday, in the middle of the week. A lot of people have different meanings around Wednesday, what hump day means or doesn't mean, and so you get to be intentional with prayer. If for some reason this time doesn't work with your schedule or you miss it or you're not able to be there, we do record the prayer. And so the most recent prayer is always available to you 24/7. Anytime you need to hear the words of prayer, you can play that, go to the playback number that you see on your screen, enter the access code and wait, and the most recent prayer will play. Also, for those that are on our mailing list, you all probably know this already, there is a link in the Friday email that takes you directly to the most recent prayer. If you have a prayer request, you can send that prayer request to prayerchampions@celebrationsc.org. We are holding our community, the entire community, in our hearts and our minds, knowing the highest and best for you. But we recognize that you may have a specific prayer request, and there needs to be a space for you to submit that. And so this is how you do it. We'll add you to the prayer list. This may be for yourself. It may be for a family member, a loved one, a colleague, friend. Doesn't matter who it is. Send that in, release the burden, cast that burden on the mind of God, and go free. And as your prayer is answered, as you experience a shift, as there is a miracle and a shift in your perception or their perception, we encourage you to let us know how prayer is working in your lives. And you can email us at prayerchampions@celebrationsc.org with your praise report, with your prosperity report, with the stories of your miracles. As another reminder, the David Lynch Foundation is making transcendental meditation available for free to those who are located in Los Angeles and have been displaced by the wildfires, and also to the firefighters and first responders who have been working to keep everyone safe. If you or someone you know qualifies for this, and by qualifying, if you fall in either of those categories, you qualify, go to meditatela.org and sign up. This is powerful, powerful offering. We're so happy to be able to share this information with you all, and we trust that you will be able to share it with someone else. We can't say enough about transcendental meditation. It, of course, is a meditation technique that we support and advocate, and specifically as it relates to the Meditate LA Trauma Relief Program. Something similar was done 5 years ago in New York, as New York was, in many cases, the epicenter of the world as it related to COVID. Those who were serving in hospitals, the nurses and doctors, were incredibly overwhelmed, and TM teachers were brought in to support them, to teach the TM technique, to support them in releasing stress. And it has been an invaluable practice to those who were able to learn at that time, and they continue to use it to this day. So this work continues. Again, please go to meditate-la.org if you or someone you know qualifies. Our study series of the month, Sermons to Get You Through the Storm. I wrote a blog post as we moved into quarantine, highlighting various sermon series that I called Sermons to Get You Through the Storm. I went back to that post and pulled out specific sermons. And so there's a playlist on our YouTube channel, on the homepage of our YouTube channel, highlighting some sermons that I think are timely and supportive given where we are, things that we are experiencing in the world, things that we're seeing in the world, things that we're seeing in our country, and of course, things that you are experiencing individually. So I encourage you to go to that. Again, it's on our homepage of our YouTube channel. The playlist will remain available, right? It may not be on the homepage as we move to next month, but that playlist is available for you. And that concludes our news and updates for this Sunday. And so before we move into the meditation, we, of course, want to lean into this celebration a little bit more. And as I said last week, I wanted to share some things with you. One of the things that's most powerful and profound about Celebration Spiritual Center is the ways in which Celebration Spiritual Center points the way to your own liberation. Right? The ways in which Celebration Spiritual Center and all that we teach and all that we do and all that we embody is supportive of you transforming your minds and thus transforming your lives. And many of you may remember in December, and we do this every year at the end of the year, we gather together for folks to share. We had a prosperity sharing. And so what I did, I wanted to just pull out a few quotes to just give you a sense of how lives are being transformed in powerful and profound ways at Celebration Spiritual Center. This is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just a couple people, a couple things, but it just reminds me, it reminds PY, right, that the work that we're doing and our continuous dedication to showing up on Sundays, our continuous dedication to our daily spiritual practice, it really does work. And one of the things that I've also learned, and this will be, I think, helpful and instructive for many of you, if you feel like things aren't working, or you're frustrated, or you're like, I've been doing this, but I'm not seeing the results. One of the things that you can take from this is that if it's working for other people, it will work for you. right?
Yes.
It's not an overnight process, right? But this is a beautiful example. So I'm just going to share this, and we can talk a little bit more. And again, these are just some quotes, just some quotes.
And
It's
that
beautiful.
was just in the recent years.
Yeah, right. So this is just in last year. Last year. After 14 years, I have peace and serenity every day of my life. My financial needs are met even on a limited budget. But most importantly, before I leave this earth, my concept of God has changed.
Yes.
God is now a friend to me.
Yes.
Ooh.
That's affirmative thought right there.
Breathe that in.
Yes.
Breathe that in, y'all. Do you understand? See, because this is where things really change, right? Once you have changed your concept of God, right? And God is now a friend and friendly, right? Everything else follows that. Everything else follows that. I quit my job at the beginning of the summer, and lo and behold, all my needs, every single one, have been met every single day. I am thriving. God is good. I am prosperous.
Yes.
Lord have mercy, right? Here's another one. I declared that I wanted to work internationally, and boom, I got a fellowship in Toronto. The director unexpectedly asked me what I wanted to do next year, and now I have opportunities in Brazil too. I just said, okay, instead of resisting, and things unfolded beautifully, right? So you can hear in that, right? So much of the teachings, right? Of making a declaration and deciding what it is that you want to be, do, and have, right? And the opportunity came up wonderfully. But we also know there's no ceiling, there's no limit to our good. And so Toronto is wonderful. And then Brazil also opens up. And learning to live in non-resistance. We talked about thy will be done and surrender, right, in February. And living in, okay, God, instead of resisting, right? All of the things unfolded beautifully. Another one, I started 2024 strong, and I'm finishing strong. I moved through cancer with grace, and now I'm writing my book to help others navigate this journey with strength. I've also been pre-approved to buy an $800,000 home in New York City as a single woman.
Yes.
My. Powerful, powerful, powerful. There are so many things. And again, PY and I are privy to so many of the things that are happening in the lives of our community. We're talking to folks. You all are texting us. You're DMing us. You're emailing us, right? And we're working with you directly, sometimes one-on-one or in class. And so we know, right, there are folks in our community that have been moving through cancer diagnoses, that have been moving through other health challenges. And we also see you moving through them on the other side of it, right? And having this perspective, this vision of what's next, this perspective and this vision of more, even more on the other side. For my visioning last year, I decided I was going to make my lifelong dream of going to South Africa a reality. So my word for 2024 was South Africa, and now it's happening, right? And this particular person, spent time in South Africa as a result of that. So here in 2025, they are thriving and were able to pursue and experience that lifelong dream. In addition to this, because we could go on and on and on, the other things that came to my mind, we know there have been new homes purchased as a result of using these teachings. New buildings, new businesses have been created and are thriving as a result of the teachings here at CSC. Of course, there's healings. We've been sharing the healings in Healing Sunday, right? Healing happening, reversing conditions, moving through powerful and amazing experiences. And this is all possible for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Source is no respecter of persons, and if it is happening for anybody, last time I checked, you were somebody,
Yes.
right? And so I trust that this will support you in continuing, right? To stay the course. We are going to continue to support you in powerful and profound ways. We have some new things coming up this year that we're excited about that I think will be supportive. Of course, we continue to have the classes we have. We have, our sermon series and the God Talk. But also take advantage of these things, right? Because one of the things I can say, we didn't name names, but one of the things I can say about each one of those persons, right, that we shared, they're coming to the God Talk. They're asking questions during the master class, asking questions, wanting to understand it, right? We make the masterclass free and available to everyone, and you can email any questions. We don't usually get a lot of questions, right, for many people. One of the things I can say when I think about these particular persons, right, they've attended classes. They've reached out to us directly with questions, whatever is necessary, so that you can get it. We're here and available, right? But if you don't ask, we can't answer, right? If you don't make use of that which is available for free. One of the most profound things now, 12 years in, this deep library that we have on YouTube of message series, right? Many of the things that still resonate. I was saying to PY, I think it was a couple months ago, I feel like CSC is like always 5 years ahead, right? So that's why when COVID hit, it was like, let's go to the well of knowledge, like, right? There were all of these sermons, all these sermon series that were just right on point, like they were written and designed for that moment. And here we are now. It's like we think about all the things that are taking place in our world. There's so many sermon series that speak right to what's going on right now, because the truth is the truth is the truth is the truth. And we have all been on the cutting edge. See, we were talking about rest before rest got popular.
Say it.
Right?
Say
We were
it.
talking about wellness. I did a series. You're like, oh, wellness is the new, or wholeness is the new thing, or whatever, right? We've been talking about wholeness. We've been talking about wellness and well-being. We teach the gospel of well-being, right? And so we know that we have a special sauce here at CSC. The ways in which we combine different texts and different ways of thinking and being into something that's easy to understand and digestible. We're going to keep doing what we're doing, and again, we're grateful and thankful to be able to celebrate 12 years. It's powerful through all the changes, through all the ups and downs. Right,
We've been right here.
right, and right, we started out one way. We're in this digital space now, and it's wonderful. And we will continue to do what we're doing. So again, we appreciate each and every one of you. We love celebrating each and every one of you. I've said it many times. One of my greatest joys is we get to witness each and every one of you use these teachings and express them in your own unique way. And prove that it works.
Thinking about the examples that you shared, the people behind the example, I want to say to everyone, and this comes from our own personal experience as well, this growth and unfoldment and restoration is not linear.
Yeah.
It doesn't just happen in a straight line. It doesn't just go boom, 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 boom. We see the unfoldment, but it makes its twists and its turns, but you stick with it.
Yep.
Your consistency and God's love create possibilities.
Absolutely.
Just remember that. It's not linear. You're not doing it wrong. You just stay consistent.
Yep.
And the rest will unfold. Even when you don't have the answer, God has the answer.
Absolutely.
And you are one with that answer.
Absolutely.
So please remember, don't beat yourself up. Don't criticize yourself. Just stay the course.
Yeah.
Stay the course of life, of love,
Yes.
and let it take you every step of the way. We are so proud of you.
Yeah.
We love and adore you, and we are here for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so from this place of awareness, we get to move into the beautiful posture of meditation. And we will be led in the meditation experience as we close out this month's meditation experience. We will be led so lovingly and beautifully by PY.
Yes, it is time for the meditation experience. It has been a powerful month of affirming the truth. Sometimes you may wonder, why do we use the same affirmative thought week after week? Because as the Course says, sometimes you need to hear things repeated because we're apt to forget. And this is really powerful, that God goes with me wherever I go. It means that wherever I am, as PG said in the opening prayer, emotionally, physically, wherever I am, God is there. And so we're never alone in our experience. No matter how lonely we feel, we are never alone. And so we allow this God that is good, the God that is good in me, as me, and through me, to respond to me, to send me in the right direction, to comfort me. As PG said, once your God concept changes, everything changes. And if your God concept is one where this God is distant and sometimes available, then you won't have availability, the access to the answers. You won't feel at peace and ease no matter what's happening. But the God that we talk about, the God that is within you, is always available. God, the good, is always with you, moving in, through, and as you. So wherever you are, God is there, never judging, never criticizing, never taking score or keeping a list. It's not Santa Claus. It is power, pure power and unconditional love, and it is always available. So we get to tap into that power now. We do it week after week, the meditation experience, because we can talk about these things and we can read these texts, and we encourage you to do so. But it is only through your direct experience of this power, of this peace, and of this unconditional love within you that you know the things you read or the things that we say are true. So let's go ahead now. Let's tap into this energy that God goes with me wherever I go. That means it's right here, right now. I'm present, you're present, God is present. So let's take that knowing, that comfort, that ease, that joy into our meditation time now. Plant the palms on the tops of the thighs and just take a second to make contact with that energy, the palm to the thighs. And maybe just slightly move the hands across the thighs. So you see that you're here. You're in this body. You're in this room wherever you are, with the feet on the floor, ears aligned over the shoulders, shoulders over hips, and creating a nice long line of energy from the crown to the root. God is here. God goes with you wherever you go. And from this place of connection, from this place of knowing, just let go of everything external and close the eyelids. You see, the simple act of closing the eyelids is powerful. We've spent a lot of time during our week focused on the external, seeing what's happening, wondering its impact on us, and worrying about the future. But when we close the eyelids, we take our power back. We go inside where it's nice and warm. We go inside where all the power is. We go inside where the connection is eternal. So let's do that. Let's sink deeper and just notice the breath right where it is. And whether the breath appears to be deep or appears to be shallow, we make no judgment of the breath. We celebrate the breath as it expands and contracts, as it fills our bodies, as it animates our souls. We are grateful for the breath as it moves. Beautiful, everyone. Now let's take conscious control of the breath together, shall we? We're going to send the breath low into the belly, and we're going to breathe in for a count of 4. Hold for a count of 4. Release the breath for a count of 4, and then just relax and settle in for 4. Sending our consciousness and our breath deep into the low belly now. Inhale. Hold for 4. Relax the jaw. Release the breath. Sigh it out for 4. and sink deeper in mind, deeper in consciousness, and deeper in love, because that is where God is. In through the low belly again, dropping the breath nice and low, expanding the low belly, not holding it in, expanding and allowing breath. Hold it there. And without collapsing the body, just release the breath and sound. Let it all go. Sigh it out. And sink deeper and deeper and deeper. In through the low belly, allowing the breath to rise, expanding the sides of the body, taking up space in the atmosphere. Hold it there. Relax the jaw, release the sound, release the worry. Settle into the comfort, the peace, and the knowing that God goes with you wherever you go. In through the low belly, up through the rib cage, expanding the sides and now the front, and remembering to send the breath to the back, that support that is always there. Hold it there. And sigh it out. And sink deeper and deeper, letting it all go, sinking deeper. In through the low belly, up through the rib cage, now allowing the breath to rise to the heart chakra, center of the chest. Now the shoulders are not up by the ears, they're relaxed back and down, holding the breath. And without collapsing the body, just release it all. Sigh it out. And feel the support behind you, to your left and to your right and in front of you. Settle in. In through the low belly, up through the rib cage, up through into the heart. Letting that energy just pulsate through your body. Hold it there. And when you're ready, let yourself hear you release what no longer serves you. Sigh it out. And accept the gift that God is here, that God goes with you wherever you go. As you sink deeper, letting go of the worry, the doubt, and the fear. Beautiful, everyone. Now let's slow the breath down even more and give our parasympathetic an opportunity to just make its way through our body and signal all the relaxation that we need. We're going to slow it down, the breath, for a count of 6. Inhaling through the nostrils for 6. Closing the lips, exhaling through the nostrils when you're ready, and then sinking deeper. All of this on rounds of 6. Let's begin. Inhale through the nose. Hold for 6. And with closed lips, exhale through the nostrils. You may not hear the sound, but you feel the release as you sink deeper and deeper and deeper. Again, let's Connect the breath in through the low belly, up through the rib cage, up through into the heart, all moving through the nostrils. When you're ready, close the lips. Hold. And let that warm breath circulate out the nostrils. And sink deeper and deeper, because right where you sit, God is. Sinking deeper into the loving presence of God. Letting that energy circulate around you and now move through you, taking your focus and the breath and the energy into the feet. Relax the feet. Energy flows up through the soles of the feet, across the ankles. Relax the ankles. Let that energy flow across the shins and the calves. No holding, just receiving. Relax the shins and the calves. Energy flows across the knees. We notice our flexibility. We are grateful for it. Relax the knees. Let the energy flow across the thighs and the glutes and the hamstrings, these large muscles that move us about on the earth. We are grateful for them and we give them a break. Let's relax the thighs, the glutes, the hamstrings, and settle into the seat. Let it hold you. Energy at the base of the spine, circulating in the hips, our seat of joy, that relaxes. And now let that energy flow up the spine as we inhale. Exhale and allow. We allow God to be on our breath as we inhale. Exhale and allow. God is going with us, moving in through and as the breath. Inhaling, exhaling, and allowing it to be so. Let that energy flow in and up, and up, and up, and making its powerful exit out the crown of our head. See, feel, imagine that energy, that beam of light, making its way back down through the crown, activating, balancing that intuitive center, the third eye, down the throat, softly resting on our shoulders as they release, down the arms, out the fingertips. Again, see, feel, and imagine this energy of love and acceptance and of joy and ease circulating through your body. You can turn the palms up to receive more, or keep the palms turned down to ground more. Whichever position you choose, remember that God goes with you wherever you go. And if the mind wanders during our silent time, it's okay. Bring it back when you become aware. Be kind to your wandering mind, and it will lovingly respond by giving you more of the thoughts that bring you joy. God goes with you wherever you go. God goes with me wherever I go. God goes with us all wherever we go. Now. With our eyelids still closed, take a mental picture of where you are in your body, the relaxation that you feel, and send that signal to the brain that this is my reality. Ease and peace, for God goes with me wherever I go. No matter whether I am feeling joyous, not so joyous, God goes with me wherever I go. In love, unconditional love and support. Bring this support back with you. And if any time during this coming week you feel disconnected, close your eyelids and affirm this truth, that God goes with me wherever I go. I am not alone. I will never be alone. Let this power and this truth come back with you as we make our gentle return now. If the palms are turned up, go ahead and turn them down. And we all inhale and allow our shoulder blades to draw up by the ears. And exhale as we release the shoulder blades back and down. Inhale up. Exhale as we release the shoulder blades back and down. Allowing the heart to make its way forward. Inhale up. Exhale, releasing the shoulder blades back and down. Bring the palms together at heart center. Touching the thumbs into the sternum right there at the center, that little bony ridge. And bow your chin toward your fingertips if you are able. And just noticing the energy that is still flowing easily through the body. Allow the eyelids to open. And find a nice soft gaze. No strain on the eyes or your experience. Not now and not ever. Inhale, raise the chin. Raise the gaze, keeping it soft. Exhale, releasing the breath. Maintain the peace. Namaste.
Yes, yes, maintain the peace. As a reminder, meditations air again every Monday at noon. And so you can access that live, and you can also access the meditation playlist with all of the meditations for this year, and use that in your practice however you see fit. It is a wonderful resource. It is a powerful resource. Thank you, BY.
You're welcome, baby.
All right. So we are in the final week of our series, Crisis Proof Faith, Building Spiritual Strength Before You Need It Most. And so I'm looking forward to closing us out with another powerful sermon. But before we get into today's sermon, we're going to hear from Soul 21. And this is a song that's just pure joy and pure celebration, which is what we all need and desire on a day like today. So we'll hear from Soul 21. I'll be with you on the other side with today's sermon. Expect the best, especially during a crisis. I'll see you on the other side.
You know it, you can sing along. didn't say believe and wish. Believe and receive. You have to receive it in your mind and consciousness as though it were already done.
Yes, yes, yes. Believe and receive it. God will perform it today. That, of course, is a classic by the Clark sisters. And I got to put a little something on the arrangement, but we love that song. It is always a powerful reminder. And we recognize that a miracle is a shift in perception. It's not something magic. Also, we recognize that miracles are natural, normal, right? So we're not expecting something supernatural to happen. We just actually recognize that that which some call supernatural, that which some call otherworldly, is actually very natural and normal. And we believe and receive it, knowing that God in, through, and as us will perform it next week. No, we'll perform it today. Well, hello, beautiful people. It's so very good to be here with you. I would love to see just briefly, and you can continue to do this as I'm talking. I would love to see how long you have been a part of the CSC community. So we've been here for 12 years. I know there are some people that have been here all 12 years that were at the very first service. And so just drop hearts. If you've been here 1 year or less, 1 heart, 2 years, 3 years, just drop the number of hearts that represent the amount of time that you've been a part of this community, so that we can fill up this timeline with hearts and we can fill up this timeline with love. And again, you can do that as I continue to talk. But I am so happy and grateful to be here with each and every one of you. So happy and grateful to be here to complete this sermon series, as we have been doing something very powerful with this sermon series. And I trust that it has met you where you are, is blessing, empowering, and impacting you. But of course, before we move into the message, I would love for you to affirm our centering prayer with me. I welcome the Spirit of truth into my mind, and let it grow in my heart. Thank you, God, in, through, and as me. Amen. Ashe. And so it is. And so it is. Yes, yes. And I see your hearts flowing. It's wonderful. Keep that coming. Keep that coming. Now, of course, I love to review where we've been, and we're in a 5-week sermon, so I can't give us a summary of each and every sermon. But of course, we started in week 1 with the time to start, the time to prepare is now. And in week 2, weatherproofing your mind. In week 3, do you want to be well? Week 4, which was last week, meditation won't save you in a crisis. And what I said is meditation won't save you in a crisis. Journaling won't save you in a crisis. Yoga won't save you in a crisis. CSC won't save you in a crisis. None of these things can save you if you have not developed sustained practices. Otherwise, you're looking for a savior in all of these things outside of you instead of realizing that you are the savior of your world. And so one of the things that I shared in last week's sermon were some very practical, in the moment things that you can use to self-regulate, to bring yourself back to center. If you did not catch that sermon, I highly encourage you to go back to it because of the practical steps that were there. We teach practical spirituality. Also, do you want to be well? We also went through some very practical things that you can start to do, start to practice, to heal so that you can respond appropriately to whatever is showing up in your life as a crisis. So here and now in this moment, I want to put a quote. Well, I'll share the quote with you. I won't put it up on the screen, but I want to share a quote with you that is from Working with the Law by Raymond Hollowell. And so we've done a series on that book. And so this is something that you may have heard before, but may not remember. And I encourage you to write this down. The quote is simple. Never expect a thing you do not want, and never desire a thing you do not expect. I'm going to say that again. Never expect a thing you do not want, and never desire a thing you do not expect. Now, in the midst of a crisis, there is something very important and powerful that will assist you in getting to the other side of the crisis, and that is your superpower of expectation. Affirmation time. Can we just affirm right here and right now? I have a superpower of expectation. Again, I have a superpower of expectation. One more time. I have a superpower of expectation. Now, this quote teaches us that expectation is neither positive or negative. How we use our expectation determines whether it is positive or negative, wanted or unwanted. How many times have you been in an unwanted situation and said to yourself or out loud some version of, I knew this would happen. I knew so-and-so wouldn't do what they said they were going to do. I knew we would end up here. These are examples of expecting a thing you do not want. Unconsciously, we do this all the time until we learn to think differently, think intentionally, and think constructively. On the other end of the spectrum is desire without expectation. How many times have you desired an outcome or an experience and quickly followed up with all the reasons why it can't happen? I'm not this enough. I'm not that enough. I can't afford it. It's hard for people like me. No one in my family has ever had opportunities like that. The economy is too bad. It's too far. I'm too old. It will take too long, and on and on and on. The desire is there, but the expectation is missing. Never expect a thing you do not want, and never desire a thing you do not expect. If you didn't write it down the first time, write it down now. Never expect a thing you do not want, and never desire a thing you do not expect. Now, as we have affirmed, I have a superpower of imagination. Each of you, indeed, you do. You have a superpower, of expectation. In the midst of a crisis, it is important to lean in on your practices as we've talked about all month. In the midst of a crisis, it's important to emphasize and center self-care and self-regulating practices, as we've talked about this month. But also in the midst of a crisis, it is important to tap into your spiritual overflow. But that overflow only comes from sustained practices, as we've talked about this month. And then you must use your superpower of expectation. You must expect the best. You must decide where you're going. You must take your mind off of the experience and place your mind on your desired outcome. I was reminded it was 5 years ago. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago, 2020, when we all moved into quarantine. PY continued to admonish us with a powerful question. Who do you want to be when this is over? Well, everybody was focused on the immediacy of what's happening. And of course, there were things that we needed to do related to the immediacy. She was inviting us to expect the best. She was inviting us to in the midst of the crisis, in the midst of the unwanted, in the midst of being moved out of our schedule and our routines. Who do you want to be when this is over? And this is a question that no matter what the unwanted experience may be, in that case in 2020, it was the COVID quarantine. In 2025, it's something else, right? In 2026, it'll be something else. She was admonishing us to desire an outcome and expect that it will be. Storms will come, but all storms are temporary. When the rain stops, what are you choosing to be, do, or have? Expect the best. Expect restoration and elevation. Expect beyond just survival. Expect beyond just making it through. Expect beyond just existing. Expect the best. I was suggesting this to a client I was working with this past week, but it comes to mind for me today, a sermon recommendation. This is from the Beyond Survival series. There's a sermon that I taught in that series, Let's Go to the Other Side. And in that series, the series and that sermon is inspired by Dr. Joe Dispenza and some of his work in You Are the Placebo. And he talks about the river of change, moving from the old self to the new self, and we're crossing the river of change. And that reminded me of the powerful story of the stilling of the storm, where we find Jesus and the disciples. And y'all know about the stilling of the storm, right? They're out on the water, and the winds and the waves come, and it's terrible, and they think the boat is going to capsize. The disciples are scared. Jesus is down in the bottom of the boat asleep. And the disciples, run and rush to him because they're scared. And they're like, well, did you want us to die? Like, why aren't you getting up? Why aren't you doing anything about it? You got all this power. And of course, Jesus was like kind of annoyed with them, but he gets up, rises to the top of the boat, and he speaks to the winds and waves. He says, peace, be still. Now, of course, there's lots of teaching and things that can be talked about related to that, but the powerful thing is what happened before they ever got on the boat, they ever got on the water, before the storm ever started. Jesus said, let us go to the other side. See, his mind was already on expecting the best. He was very clear that they were going to go from one side to the other. He wasn't concerned about or thinking about the middle, or so mesmerized by the middle that he forgot that he's going to the other side. That was expecting the best. And so because he knew where he was going, he could say that confidently. And this is exactly how we must operate in the midst of crisis. So here's a spiritual principle for you. It's another one you may want to write down. Desire without expectation creates delay. I'm going to say that again. Desire without expectation creates delay. Now, why is this true? Well, in this example, I love to think of it in two ways. One, let's think about desire as being the car, and expectation is the fuel in the car, or your charged battery, fully charged battery, right? Where are you going if you don't have gas in your car, or if your battery isn't charged and you have no way to plug it in? Where's that car going? You could think of it another way. Desire is like your smartphone. Expectation is the charged battery. But again, if the battery is not charged, although your smartphone can do a million different things, you can run a business, you can create award-winning pieces of art, you can create music, you can, access spreadsheets and send emails and communicate with people all over the world and even people in space, right? There's all kinds of things you can do with that smartphone. But if it's not charged, if it has no expectation, it's useless. Some of you right now are in the midst of some sort of crisis, some sort of challenge or unwanted situation, and you can't figure out why you've been experiencing this for so long. This may be your answer. Again, what's the principle? Desire without expectation creates delay. And so you have a desire, but you don't actually believe that it will be. You're not expecting the best. Have you engaged your superpower of expectation? Am I expecting things to work out? Am I expecting the worst or expecting the best? Have I determined what the other side is for me? And again, the other side, beyond just survival, just beyond making it through, beyond the keeping your head above water consciousness. I know we all love and appreciate good times for what it was and what it is, but it also did a lot of damage. I'm sorry if I'm upsetting somebody. Look, I loved it too. But that whole keeping your head above water consciousness is what a lot of us are doing in the midst of crisis and in the midst of challenge, when the opportunity is to tap into expectation and expect the best. I'm not just trying to get the hell up out of this water, because clearly it ain't no fun in this water. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to walk on the water maybe, but I probably just need to get out the water. Do I have a vision for my life on the other side of this crisis, this challenge, this unwanted issue? Again, this is the question that PY brought to us back in 2020. Who do I want to be when this is over? Because it will end. And do I have a vision? Because if you don't have a vision for your life, here's the other thing. Because storms come, storms are temporary, and storms will go, the rain will stop, but then you're still just going to be the same person. And so it's not raining, but you still complaining. It's not raining, but you still ain't got no vision. It's not raining, but you still haven't learned to expect the best. Affirmation time. I expect the highest and best outcome in this situation. One more time. I expect the highest and best outcome in this situation. For a third time, because we love to do this in threes. I expect the highest and best outcome in this situation. And as you affirm that, because there's a part of your mind that goes to the how is not your business. So as you say you expect that doesn't mean that you have to have it all figured out. That doesn't require you to outline every detail or even any details, because outlining is what gets us in trouble, because then you're limiting God. It's like, I expect the highest and best outcome, and it has to look this way. And so then that's all you expect. So that means that life, God, the law, cannot bring the highest and best to you in any other way, because you've said it has to look like $100 when source wanted to give you $10,000. Right? This is all about pointing and focusing your mind in the direction of that which is wanted. This is all about using your superpower of expectation for yourself instead of against yourself. And so I'm actually almost done, y'all. Right? We've had a slightly longer service, but I want to bring you to something that I read. It's in 365 Days of Richer Living. And it was actually in yesterday's reading, surprisingly, as I went back to it. Ernest Holmes and Raymond Charles Barker are the authors of this text. And here they're writing about expecting the best. They're writing about how to move through crisis, how to expect the best, especially during a crisis. And we read these words. When we have an enthusiastic and glad outlook on life, we seldom do become weary. Therefore, we must convince ourselves that we are vitalized by the strength of God, and we must do something to ourselves which makes it certain that this infinite energy shall increasingly flow through us. It is up to us to make the decision to follow the course of affirmative thinking, prayer, and meditation, which shall continually keep this stream of divine energy flowing through our minds, our bodies, and our affairs, animating everything we do with the vitality that knows no weariness. Now, what I love about this, just at the outset, they're underscoring what we've been talking about all month, right? Because this idea that we must convince ourselves, we must do something to ourselves. It is up to us to make the decision, right? To follow the course, to keep this stream of divine energy flowing, right? So it's important to recognize and remember that this is not magic. It's not an automatic process in that sense, right? And it's not a manipulative process, but there's an understanding that when we make a choice, when we do the things, when we prepare in the ways that we've been talking about preparing, when we weatherproof our mind in the ways that we've been talking about weatherproofing our mind, when we recognize that we have to be well in order to respond to a crisis. And so we do the work of healing trauma. We do the work of reparenting. We do the work of setting loving boundaries, right, for ourselves and for others. When we do all of these different things, when we engage in the practices that support us in regulating our nervous system, then what we're doing is keeping ourselves open to the divine flow, the stream of divine energy flowing through our minds, our bodies, and our affairs, animating everything we do. Not that we're making the flow happen any more than you make the flow of water happen into your home, but it's up to you to get up and turn the knob or lift up the spigot, whatever it looks like, so that the water can flow. You don't have to create the water. You don't have to go to the water plant and check the reservoirs and do all these things and see how much it's been raining or not. And let me check, has it rained in a while or the reservoir's full before you go over and turn on the water. But you do have to get up and do that step of turning on the water. And so I love also where they talk about that then as we do this, this is what will support us in seldom getting weary. There was a post I saw on social, some folks have been sharing it. Jamie Foxx, he was just feeling moved, I guess, and shared a video of himself singing the gospel classic, James Cleveland, No Ways Tired, right? I don't feel no ways tired. I've come too far from where I've started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, but I don't believe God's brought me this far to leave me. And that's a powerful, understanding, right? And of course, it's one of the things that I think we get, that resilience that we get from gospel music, that resilience that we get from the Black church, this idea of the not giving up, which is a part of expecting the best, right? But it's not the whole piece, because I think, unfortunately, a lot of times what we've learned is how to articulate the problem, right? What we've learned is how to articulate the don't wants, right? But we have not necessarily learned how to put the focus of our attention on the vision of the world and the life that we want to co-create and create and live in. And this is why we keep repeating the same cycles, right? We can just look at the lens of history and that starts to show us that. Right? We're fighting the same battles that were fought in the 50s and 60s, right? There's a metaphysical reason for that from this perspective, but we understand that it's important. Walk together, children, don't you get weary, right? It's important that we live in this consciousness of, if we have an enthusiastic and glad outlook on life, we seldom do become weary. It's important that even in the midst of crisis, we can put the focus of our attention on something that brings us to a place of enthusiasm and gladness, that we recognize, I know where I'm going. Yes, there's a storm right now, but I can even sleep at the bottom of the boat in the midst of the storm because I declared I'm going to the other side, and I know what's on the other side, and I know what the other side is about, and I have a vision of the other side, and I have a vision board of the other side, and I'm journaling about the other side. And as I live in that place, then I recognize that expecting the best is the cure for weariness. Expecting the best is a choice. It's a decision. Expecting the best, it requires tools and practices, tools that they said, affirmative thinking, which I love that, as opposed to positive thinking. It's a completely different energy. You're declaring what you want, what shall be. It's constructive thinking. It's beneficial thinking, not just positive, right? Because there's a whole lot of folk out here that supposedly are thinking positively and not experiencing the results because they're actually not speaking and thinking affirmatively. They're including a lot of what they don't want in the midst of their positive thinking. Affirmative thinking, prayer, and meditation. Again, these are tools that we've talked about over and over again this month. Expecting the best maintains your receptivity to the flow of divine energy, which manifests as ideas, solutions, opportunities, insight, direction, guidance, open doors, closed doors, go here, go there, dreams, random conversations. This is why you must expect the best, especially during a crisis, because it keeps your heart and mind open and receptive to the solutions or what's next for you as you move step by step by step by step. People will think it's magic. People will think it's miraculous, but it's simply natural law showing up and being natural in, through, and as your life. Expecting the best gives you forward momentum. I am so grateful and thankful for this series. I'm so grateful and thankful for this moment where we are. I felt that it was important to bring this series at this time, given the state of the world, given the state of the country, and what I know to be true, while it may feel and seem counterintuitive, there's a preparation that's required for us to actually be a beneficial presence on the earth. Right? If you have not done any internal work, the worst thing you can do is then just run out to do a protest, right? Because you're not aware of what's really motivating you, right? You're not aware that, as we talked about, if you have unhealed trauma, you're not aware that the person in the White House, you've projected things on them that have to do with your personal story, and so that has to be healed first, so that you can deal with the real stuff that's going on in our nation, right? Recognizing that if you don't have restorative practices, you're going to go out there and burn out. Again, I've seen it over and over again. I've spent 11 years working in human rights and social justice, and I've watched folks, I'm still watching folks, colleagues burning out from doing this work or doing too much. Not that their intentions weren't good. This is why I say positive thinking is a problematic term. But if they had had the opportunity to step back and look at it, they may recognize that they needed to get well. They needed to restore and renew themselves before they continued this work, or may approach the work in a different way. And so to wrap this up, the last piece, and this is the new thought piece if you think about it, because what we teach and what centers New Thought is the idea that we can hold an idea in mind and bring it into being. And so when you're in a crisis, you have to have that sense, you have to have that vision. And you have to have that. That's what will support you in moving through the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day, no matter how long it takes. Because desire without expectation creates delays. And I don't know about you, but anytime I'm in a crisis, I want to move through that thing as quickly as possible. Not from an avoided standpoint, but recognizing that there's a way for me to do that. This is it. I trust that you will come back to this sermon series. I trust that you will share it with someone. Maybe it comes up in a conversation. You can share this series. But more importantly, we received the series the first time, and it hits us at a certain level of receptivity. Right? But you may want to come back to this in a week or so. You may want to come back to this in a month or so. You're going to hear things that you didn't hear. Also, I outlined many things, right? I shared books that you may want to come back in week 1 and go to the list of books that we named. You may want to go back to weeks 3 and 4, where I shared very practical tips and tools that you can start to use, tools to heal the trauma so that you can do the work, as Nicole LaPera says, right? And then last week, specific processes that you can use in the moment that are self-regulating and self-nourishing. We have some powerful things that we're going to move into next month, actually for April and May. It's going to be one series that's really going to speak to finances and our money mindset in a powerful way. We're going to be looking at the law of abundance. I'm excited about that. But to this truth, And for this truth, I am so very grateful. And I say, amen, ashe, and so it is.
Yes, yes. Powerful sermon, but equally powerful message series. Each piece is important to understanding how to navigate a time of crisis.
Yeah.
Go back to each message. Take notes. I don't know about you, but I like to take notes on things. When I'm hearing something good, he's right. I hear it one way. I come back to it. I listen to it. I internalize it. And then I can really receive it. So please do that. Nothing is being withheld from you.
Nope.
But if you expect that, that's what you will receive. So make sure that you have the desire match with the expectation. And here's the other part. If you have never allowed yourself to expect and desire anything, start off there. Start small. Don't try to be like, okay, I desire to be a millionaire. Of course. But start off and prove it to yourself that the things he said today are true, the things that we always say are true. Start off small. Prove it to yourself. And if you realize, wait, I don't even think I'm worthy of these small things, then that's where you start working.
Yes, yes.
Such a powerful series. Expect the good.
Yeah.
But if you haven't realized, oh, wait, I don't even understand what the good really is, how to receive the good. I'm afraid to have the good. Whatever those expectations are, if they're not in alignment with what you want, that's where your work begins.
Absolutely.
Thank you, PG. Powerful series, powerful message. And I feel it from the comments you got it today.
Absolutely.
If you didn't, or you want to go back and get it deeper, come back to the message.
Yes, 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 yes. So again, I am so grateful and thankful for this series and for this sermon. I'm grateful and thankful for CSC. In this moment, it is time for giving, and it is very easy to give to CSC. You can go to our website, celebrationsc.org/give, or you can text your dollar amount to 347-744-9500. There is a $10 minimum to text to give. Now, of course, what we teach and remind you each and every Sunday here at CSC, we're not locking the live stream or locking the doors. Never have, never will. What we teach here is something very powerful. As you give, you receive, right? We don't have to shame or scare you or blame you or do any of those things. There's a principle at work, and it's just like breathing in and breathing out. If I hold my breath in fear because I don't know if there's going to be more oxygen for me, I suffer, right? I'm the one that's going to have the experience, right? But if I continue to breathe out, one, I'm breathing out something that the plants can use, as they're breathing out something that I can use, right? And we operate in this beautiful circulation, right? That's what giving and receiving is all about. Now, unfortunately, we live in a society that is rooted and grounded in scarcity and lack. That even shows up in the churches. It's only a scared and lack-filled mind, or even a lack-filled consciousness, because it's not about the specific person when I say that. I'm not talking about him. I recognize the consciousness of that whole movement, which I was once a part of, right? Only a lack mind, only scarcity thoughts would lead you to operate in that way. And again, that's a deep way of being that I've seen all my life since I was a child. As you give, you receive. We give without fear. We give in love because we love to give, because we know it's circulation. We give in joy. because we recognize something even more powerful, that all the money that I circulate
All the money that I circulate
returns to me multiplied
returns to me multiplied
in a never-ending cycle
in a never-ending cycle
of increase
increase
and enjoyment.
and enjoyment.
To that we say amen,
Amen.
ashe,
Ashe.
and so it is.
So it is.
We are grateful for your continued support financially of CSC. Of course, this allows us to continue to do the things that we do, right? To continue to bring the live stream in the way that we're able to bring it. Supports the equipment and the lights and all of the other software and things on the back end that support us, even with our classes and other things. Zoom for the God Talking classes, and on and on and on, right? So we're continually grateful that you all believe that CSC is necessary, right? One of the things that always comes to my mind is, if you think about, you dropped your hearts, how many years you've been a part of CSC, you've been a part of this community. There was someone that was here before you, even for those that may have been at the first service. If you were not part of the launch team, and I want to shout out our launch team and those beautiful souls that said yes to this vision that we had, right? They said yes, right? Before the doors were open. They said yes before we knew where we were going to hold service. They said yes before we had any real money in the bank account to do anything, right? They said yes. And so it is out of that continuous giving, and they gave of their time and their talents and their treasure. Someone gave so that CSC would be here 12 years. I mean, oh my God, that is so fascinating to me. Every time I think about it, it's so moving to me. Because someone gave 12 years ago, because someone gave 11, 10, 9, 8 years ago, that's why we're all able to be here right now experiencing this. That's why those prosperity reports that we shared were able to happen. That's why your prosperity report has been able to happen. So we love and appreciate you. We trust that you will have an amazing rest of your day, and even better week. Of course, we will gather together on Wednesday morning for the Momentum Prayer Call. That information, if you need it, if you're on the mailing list, go to the Friday email. It's there. You can also find it on social media. And then we will gather together next Sunday. New month, new series. I'm excited. We're going to be focused on the law of abundance. I think, again, it's going to be important and timely as we think of all the things that are happening in society right now. There's lots of closings. There's lots of talk about things, shortages and things going away and the stock market going down. We need to put our attention on understanding that abundance is actually the truth of life. And when we put the focus of our attention there, we can have a different experience, even while others may be focused on lack and scarcity. So I look forward to that. We love and appreciate y'all. Happy anniversary, CSC.
Happy anniversary. We love you.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.